In the desolate triangle between Roswell, Area 51, and the Utah borderlands lies a 512-acre ranch that defies explanation. The world knows the crash in New Mexico. It fears the secrets buried in Nevada's desert. But few realize what sits at the third point of that triangle. Here, in Utah's Uinta Basin, the impossible isn't rare, it's routine. Cattle mutilated with surgical precision, aircraft instruments dying mid-flight, radiation spikes with no source, in phenomena so strange that even the Pentagon took notice. Scientists dismissed it, then investigated it, and still can't explain it. Because Skinwalker Ranch isn't just another UFO hotspot. It's where every mystery converges, and it sits right in the center of America's most mysterious corridor. If Roswell was the beginning, and Area 51 guards the secret, what's really happening at the third point of the triangle? Underworlders once ignored the Ute tribe's caution to stay away from the Cursed Valley, a place said to be haunted by shapeshifters who move between worlds. In 1990s, a ranching family arrived, and their lives unraveled. Cattle were mutilated, lights appeared in silent formation, and giant creatures walked through solid fences. Scientists came next. They recorded electromagnetic spikes, radiation bursts, and glowing orbs that evaded every instrument. Cameras failed, drones dropped, and voices whispered through static. To this day, no one can explain why the land reacts to those who study it, or why so many leave believing it's alive. Some call it haunted, others call it intelligent. Whatever it is, it's still watching. Strange objects in the desert. In Southern California lies the Anza Borrego Desert, a vast stretch of wilderness long associated with unexplained lights, cryptid sightings, and persistent military activity. For decades, local witnesses have reported seeing a glowing aerial phenomenon they've nicknamed Goldie. This is a mysterious object that appears without warning in the skies above the desert, both day and night, defying conventional explanation. This footage comes from beyond Skinwalker Ranch, an official history investigation that extends the original ranch's research to other active sites across the United States. For this operation, the team sets up at Clark Dry Lake Bed, a retired NASA test range once used for classified experiments and early UFO research. Veteran investigator Dave Mason joins the crew, bringing with him a series of high-resolution thermal systems, a conventional FLIR and a modified differential FLIR capable of detecting small shifts in thermal energy invisible to the naked eye. Alongside Dave's technology, Andy and Paul monitor the radio spectrum using frequency analyzers. Almost immediately, their equipment detects something unusual.
Look at this, look at this.
Yep.
Wow, look at all of this energy in here, Paul.
A signal pulsing inside a restricted 1.6 gigahertz band. Using a directional antenna, they trace the signal's origin toward the same sector where team members Derek and Dave had filmed an unidentified aircraft back in 2021. The coincidence is unsettling. Moments later, Dave's differential FLIR registers a sharp thermal change in that exact area. It's as if something invisible to the naked eye is generating heat in the desert darkness. Then, out of nowhere, it appears. A bright light ignites far across the desert floor. A solid white glow with no defined source.
What is that light? If it's headlights or otherwise, it's in the middle of an open desert.
At first, the team suspects it might be a vehicle. Yet the region is inaccessible at night. The soil is muddy from recent rain, and no roads lead that far out into the restricted zone. Even stranger, the FLIR shows no accompanying heat signature. Whatever is generating that light isn't producing thermal energy the way a vehicle, aircraft, or campfire would. The light remains visible for several minutes before fading completely. Seconds later,
Whoa,
Wow.
it's right along the ridge now.
another orb ignites on a distant ridge. This one is brighter, more deliberate in its movement. It hovers briefly before sliding behind the hill and vanishing from view as if aware it's being watched. The team exchanges nervous glances. The feeling is unanimous. Something out there is observing them. Back at Skinwalker Command Center, they review the recordings frame by frame. What they discover is even more disturbing than what they witnessed in real time. Dave's differential FLIR reveals two distinct objects moving in parallel across the desert, both visible only on the modified thermal system. The conventional FLIR shows nothing. The naked eye sees nothing. The way both objects maintain identical speed and trajectory suggests intelligence. This isn't debris. This isn't a weather phenomenon. This is something deliberately navigating the airspace above Anza Borrego. Whatever hovered over Anza Borrego that night left behind data but no definitive answers. But aerial phenomena are just one piece of the puzzle. Sometimes, what lurks in the darkness doesn't stay in the sky. It comes down to meet you face to face. The Skinwalker invasion. In the small desert town of Torrey, Utah, strange activity has left an entire family in fear. Locals speak of shadow figures and skinwalkers haunting the land, their presence tied to sacred ground disturbed years ago. This footage comes from Ghost Adventures, a Discovery Channel series that documents real-time investigations into reported hauntings. Zach Bagans and his team begin their lockdown inside the Chuck Wagon property. Back at the nerve center, the crew notices something concerning. Jay, one of the investigators, appears disoriented. Earlier in the day, he nearly collapsed and continues to show signs of distress.
I'm worried, totally worried. I've never had anything like that happen before, never felt anything like that.
Concerned that Jay may have an attachment, Zach sends him to sit alone in the recliner inside the same cabin where an escaped criminal once reported seeing a dark figure hovering above him. When Aaron enters to check on him, Jay's voice sounds detached. He looks at Aaron and calmly says,
They would like to see you.
"They would like to see you." The moment he speaks,
the glass is just fogged up. That was weird, dude.
Aaron's glasses begin to fog without explanation. The temperature inside the room doesn't change. There's no visible cause for the condensation. At that exact instant, Billy, watching through a thermal still camera from outside, sees movement behind Aaron. A dark shape, colder than the air around it, rises from the floor and hovers near his back. Billy snaps a photo and immediately calls out what he's seen. Reviewing the image, the team notices a large mass outlined in pink, a color that indicates a temperature much lower than human skin. In one frame, the shape seems to cover Aaron's head, matching the precise moment his glasses fogged over. Another still shows the same form, bending or kneeling behind him. The crew gathers around the monitor in disbelief. The thermal evidence is undeniable. Whatever was captured on camera wasn't a reflection, wasn't an equipment malfunction, and wasn't explainable by environmental factors. The discovery leaves the crew convinced that something unseen still lingers inside the cabin. Whether it's the same presence that haunted the fugitive years ago, or something newly awakened by their investigation, no one can say for sure. The sinkhole anomaly. While surveying the North Mesa of Skinwalker Ranch, the air quality monitors show no drop in oxygen, no toxins detected, yet the voice in the forest. At Ferrari Farms, a property located near the borders of Skinwalker Ranch, locals believe a Native American woman was buried on the land generations ago. For years, the family has reported strange lights, figures in white, and whispers that echo across the fields after dark. The following footage comes from Twin Paranormal, a channel known for documenting real-time investigations at some of the most active sites in North America. On this night, the team sets up near the field where the supposed burial ground lies, hoping to make contact with whatever lingers there. One investigator calls out, almost instantly,
Use your energy.
The EMF sensors answer first, flashing red in rapid pulses. Moments later,
Contain.
They're contained.
Containing
the spirit box emits a single word, contain. At the same time, the sound of twigs snapping echoes from somewhere beyond the camera's light. The team decides to cut the lights and stand in complete darkness while the cameras keep rolling. For several minutes, nothing moves. The frogs that had filled the night with sound fall completely silent. Then branches begin to crack again, closer this time. The investigators can't see it, but one of the stationary cameras captures a shadowed figure moving between the bushes. Hours later, ready to leave, they call out one last time.
Good call, dude.
Just heard that. Can you explain that?
A heavy rustling erupts from the brush, quick, deliberate, and close. The sound of footsteps crashes through the darkness, moving toward the group in a sprint. Everyone freezes. Breathing becomes rapid and uneven as they sweep their flashlights toward the tree line. The beams cut through the field, but nothing reflects back. The movement stops as suddenly as it began, leaving only the sound of their own voices echoing off the open land. They decide to approach the spot where the figure was seen.
I just saw your eyes!
Without warning, the primary camera powering the session goes dark. The screen shuts off completely. No error message, no battery warning. The backup units continue rolling, capturing only confusion as the team scrambles to check connections. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more mysterious encounters. As always, what's your stance on this? Paranormal or not? Let me know in the comments.